Yujin, we wanted to talk to you about your artwork, and specifically I wanted to ask you how, well, Asian films in general, since we are an Asian film festival, have informed your work.
I love film in general, so I see a lot of film, and I love film festivals because I can see all these films from different places that I wouldn't get to see in the. And actually, I started seeing one of my favorites directors are Hong Sang-soo, and I started seeing his film in the International Film Festival first.
In Berlin, it was the first time you saw Hong Sang-soo's films?
Mm-hmm. And then I started looking into his older films and watched them and continue to watch. I mean, because he releases every...
Sorry, what was the first Hong Sang-soo film you saw?
I think it was I can't remember really clearly, but I think it was Ha Ha Ha.
Ha ha ha.
That's interesting because...
That's a while
Sorry.
ago, right?
It was a while ago.
It's interesting because... I mean, I think he's a great filmmaker, but you wouldn't think of him visually first. You think of him more about drama.
Narrative.
So maybe the tone of his narratives influences you somehow. Or?
Actually, what I like most about his film, and I tell this to people, and they're kind of like, "That's weird." I find his main character is normally a male character, and I find his male character very like. Typically in the society we would consider this guy like a loser. Like he's a loser, he's a weirdo, but somehow in his film this character becomes very attractive. Like he's a very attractive weirdo and he's a very strange but
That's what
kind
she
of
said.
It's true. And then
you find the character, his protagonist attractive.
I find the protagonist very like I wouldn't probably date him in real life, but in his
That's
film,
very shy.
in his film, it's like how did Hong Sang-soo make this character so attractive to women and to the audience? And at the end of the film, I always feel like I don't know. So I really like that because it's not a typical I'm the protagonist, I'm the hero, I'm this like perfect guy.
Okay.
So that's one thing I really like about it. And I also, of course, read some of his interviews, the way he makes film without a real set script.
Yeah.
And kind of working with the same actors again and again, having that long-term relationship, I think is really unique also in the film industry. And he works a lot, right? Every year he produces film, and I think that kind of work ethic also is quite admirable. So there are like many things. And of course, this year he was at the Berlinale.
That's right. Yeah. So you're happy about this year's win for
I mean,
his
it was
actress?
kind of controversial, but for me, I thought that that's another thing I like about his work is that it's very autobiographical, kind of like he's very inspired by what he experienced in his life, in his surroundings, and that's kind of the way I work in my own studio practice. I work a lot with the narrative from my family, from my friends. I'm very inspired by people around me, so they always seep into my work.
But you don't think it's a bit narcissistic, this way of creating art or film or art in general, let's say?
I don't think so, and maybe it is, but if it is, then I would say it's our time. It's reflective of our time. And for me, I really don't think it is because ultimately I think you can only really speak strong stories that you experience firsthand or very close to you.
So it's more of a personal thing, more personal experience.
And so then the controversy comes more from like that kind of ethical or moral boundaries that he plays with. And I also like that because I think that is real life that we face in reality, that it's not really this person is good, this person is bad, and they're fighting, and then good person wins. It's more like, I thought this person was a loser, but he's kind of like okay, and I thought this girl was like really amazing, but then maybe she has a problem, or this kind of flipping of the characters that happens within the narrative, I think is interesting.
Do you have ethical conflicts in your own work?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think everybody has, and like.
You're gonna have to show us some of your stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not a huge Hong Sang-soo fan. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
I like his films.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I have
You've
the
seen
problem
enough.
that a lot of people have. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm really far from being an exception here. I think it's based on the same principles. So at some point, you kind of either buy it or not. I mean, it's really in a way it's idiotic to say, oh, he's always doing the same thing. Like, really? Of course he's doing the
Well,
same
it's
thing.
sure. It's
That's
like
his whole
there's
shtick.
so
you
many
know?
filmmakers that for example, Ozu. There's
Yeah.
been this long discussion about his cinematic transcendence, and he always has these interchangeable plots. And Hong Sang-soo, he certainly has interchangeable plots. You could argue that he's also going after and achieving transcendence cinematically sometimes. Some people might say no.
I'm more on the side of artists who are trying to reinvent themselves. You know, like for example, it's not an Asian filmmaker, but I really admire what Denis Villeneuve is doing right now. You can recognize this. It's very cinematic. He's got a style of his own, and yet, you know, film after film, the guy reinvents himself. I think that you've got a sense that it's not the same film you're watching. But,
Or
you
maybe
know,
I really like this Korean film. This is one of my favorite. It's called Breathless in English.
Sure.
동파리.
Dongpari, yeah.
Yeah.
I really and the director Yang Ik-jun, I think that's his only film.
This film has a completely different title in Korean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it says...
I was like, why Breathless?
Yeah, so I met him.
I kind of know.
I
but
met
yeah.
him, and
Oh,
it
you
played.
know.
It played the festival, and I said, "Why did you choose Breathless?" Because that's a famous film by Godard. He said, "Oh, my friend said it's really cool, and you should use that." Then he told, "Do you want to say what the Korean title actually means in English?"
Dog shit.
It's Dongpari. It's kind of like the fly that always flies around like trash and shit, and the one that green
It's a
shiny
fly?
one. It's
Yeah.
a fly.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
Yeah, it's
never
the
mind.
fly- it's
It's a fly on the
fly,
on the
the
shit.
shit fly.
A shit fly.
Yeah, shit fly. I mean, literal
It doesn't.
translation.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good, but it fits the film in a way. It's a very good film.
Yeah, but I was just gonna say, like, I feel like there's, of course, like directors like Hong Sang-soo who makes, and then you become a fan and you kind of want, you know what you expect, but you still kind of go for that. And then there's films like Dongpari, which exists in kind of like on its own, and it happened once, and then it never happened again. Because
I'm more into that, you see, because I think, I like this idea of this guy put everything he had in his film, hopefully not everything, and I do hope he makes another movie. I mean, the guy's an excellent actor as well.
Yeah, he's directed and starred in that film, and he acts in other films. I
like this idea that he had all this energy, and it kind of got burnt out, I believe, after that. Yeah. But I think that's more than an idea of maybe I'm a romantic that way. But the idea like year after year, you take your academic. I don't know if we can leave that on camera, but year after year, you make a movie. It's like I'm taking my academic break. What should I do? I'm gonna shoot a movie. I don't know if I really love that concept of cinema. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So I mean, I really respect Hong Sang-soo's intelligence. I think the guy is hugely talented. I mean, there's this ability to create narrative, but to me, there's a little bit of a tourist side to it. It's like I'll take a break.
So that's what we were getting at. So Asian films have informed you as an artist, but also now it's literally
this our new logo?
It's literally seeping into your artwork.
Yeah, I tried
This is really nice.
Yeah.
Oh crap! This is a good logo. I like it.
It's more graffiti kind of like street,
we like that.
like a little bit of a.
So you'd be the new Banksy, the Korean Banksy.
I have to admit, like I asked a friend who does graffiti to kind of like do So it's a friend's.
It's a collective work.
So this design of the graffiti comes from a friend, and then the other designs I kind of put together. But I thought it would be fun to kind of get out of this box of your logo. Although I really love it. It was like really fun to play around with it, put images inside.
You're a fan of Hong Kong films as well, or you really like that sort of visual image?
So this is Korean film. 도둑들.
Inspired.
도둑들. I forgot
Inspired
by
yeah.
film. And then you added your own.
Right, I made it a little bit
to
more kind of artistic, more expressive, like outside of that kind of photo.
Cool.
Very cool. So we'll see. And this is old boy character's eye. It looks more nicer than
nice.
the actual.
And wow, this is really.
Oh, it's from that character that eye. Okay.
The eye. I really, because I was really young when I first watched that film. It was a super shock, of course. It's like, this film is crazy.
Why was it shocking?
I mean,
it wasn't shocking to me.
Really?
I was like, it's a little shocking.
I
but,
think I was super young. I was like in
really?
either high school or early college time or something like that.
I was having my second grandkid at the time. Just kidding. What year was that? 2001? No.
2004.
2004.
Okay, so that
that's
must
so long
be
ago.
when I was in college.
13 years ago. Now we all know how old you are.
Now nothing is shocking anymore, right?
It was fun. We'll be back, and I'll be in Hong Kong. We'll do something from Hong Kong. I hope. And Yujin will be back. Are you going to be back? Okay, cool. Yeah, you do the next one. That's the next one.